it's you! Long time no see. Are you okay? You look troubled. That's quite a wrinkled brow. Come, join the others and listen to me recount the tale of the Legion's invasion. I'm sure your memory of the events will dispel your worries. The Antimatter Legion barely missed me, and that's when I saw your faces. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing here today.
Long live Master Capote!
Oh? Still troubled? You must be ill. You look pale and your pupils are gray. That's fine. I, Capote, never waver in my support. I shall double my efforts to heal your heart. The Antimatter Legion barely missed me.
Hell.
Aha! I see you no longer look troubled. There is only one word to describe your expression. Enlightenment. Such is the power of my rhetoric. It creates an energy that... Arlen? Yes. I know him. After all, my calling is to light up the heart of every person on the space station. As to his current location, forgive me, but I cannot tell.
Insert dramatic pause and sudden drama here.
Everyone knows the most important word in my life is principle. Huh? Without principle, what difference would there be between a person and a mechanical arm?
Wait a minute. Last time he said the most important word in his life was illumination.
We need to update Master Capote's Life Wiki. This will be version 12.0 of his life keywords.
Anyway, I do not lie. I can tell you that I did indeed meet Arlen recently, and I know where he went. Regrettably, I already swore on my life that I, Capote, would never tell anyone Captain Arlen's secret. You don't understand what I'm trying to say at all. Crises, disasters, these are just mirages of the material plane. A person's character and the vows of humankind are most precious. They must be protected at all costs. All you see are the minuscule risks of the immediate situation. But did you ever consider that if I, Capote, abandoned my principles, then the hopes and dreams of hundreds of fair ladies would be dashed? I am their lighthouse, and I will never allow myself to be tainted.
Oh, Master Capote is so considerate.
Wow, the cringe is strong. I need to remember what I came here for.
Seems like you already know what kind of person. Seems like you already know what kind of person I am. Captain Arlen had a similar expression to yours when he found me. He was anxious and desired an answer. But answers are not easy to give. Besides, he wanted to master a trial of the heart that would thoroughly change him, and that would be even more difficult. You can't even imagine the difficulty of the trial. I was tired merely from the act of imitating that way of talking with him. Thankfully, he... Aha! No more. No more.
His words match Arlen's work plan records. Seems like he does have key information.
I didn't say that. Did you mishear it? What I said was, life is a trial, and you need to be true to yourself. So,
Someone was
I
caught in the act.
know nothing about anything you said about Captain Arlen. I need to head to a meeting now. Can we talk later?
No.
I can't let him get away like this. If he doesn't want to tell me, then...
You dare to utter such a threat? Listen here. Leaving aside the fact that you don't have the right to dismiss me, I wouldn't yield even if lead researcher Asta... No! If Madame Herta herself commanded me. Why not threaten to kill me while you're at it? I've said it once, and I'll say it again. I will not yield.
Master Capote is so courageous. We're so lucky to be his fans.
He said the exact same thing when he promised Captain Arlen.
Yes, the part about not yielding. It makes me tear up.
I'm gonna print out the transcript of the conversation as soon as I get back today. The fan club needs to recite and memorize it.
Transcript? They've recorded Arlen's conversation with Capote? I didn't think a clue like that would suddenly pop up. This is the one who mentioned the transcript just now.
Hey, you've been talking Master Capote's ear off this whole time. Do you want to join the fan club?
I bet you do. You wouldn't have known about Captain Arlen's meeting with Master Capote unless you had an interest.
You even memorized the internal testing content for version 12.0 of Master Capote's Life Wiki.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You must be one of those super fans that stayed under the radar. We've been careless.
We're on the same side after all. Here, this is our latest welcome bundle for new members of the fan club. And I'll toss in an updated version of Master Capote's Life Wiki.
He looks really cool in the new limited edition snapshots.
Settings. Woof, woof. Okay, let me see if adjusting this. Oh yeah, that does help. Okay. Okay.
What's next on the agenda? What happened to you, Arlen? Why did you have to get that sleazy Capote to help you with a trial? I heard he's good at rallying people to his cause. Ugh, never mind. Let's stay on track and find some clues. This handwriting looks familiar.
Is it Arlen's? Against the scorching sun, a beautiful flower will never endure. Within my fair embrace, my love for you is tender and pure. Yuck, so slimy. It does sound like Capote. Looks like a candid shot, but surely he knew it was being taken. It's autographed. There's a figure that's not quite in the shot. Oh, is that Arlen?
So Arlen did go to see Professor Capote. This is the evidence.
Ugh. Even the space station handbook doesn't get updated this frequently. Huh. Is this an audio transcript?
Yeah. It's not too long. Come on, Captain Arlen. You have to get into the role. I'm sorry, Professor. I can't think of you as an overbearing boss. Close your eyes and try to feel it. After all, this is a trial of the heart. Listen to the instructions and let's try again. Arlen, come to my office. Time waits for no one, and every minute of my time is precious. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm coming right over. Wrong. Big mistake. Captain Arlen, you can't just be so submissive. If you were tasked with something beyond the scope of your work, would you also take off immediately just like you did? Oh dear, if you want to learn how to handle an overbearing boss, it looks like your heart is going to have to put in some serious training.
So, trial of the heart means knowing how to deal with an overbearing boss. So that's how Arlen sees me. I need to talk to him. Let's hurry up and find him. Peppy, it's your turn again.
Ooh, excuse me. It's a baby. What is on his back? Oh, it's wings. Uh-oh.
That's Dan Hung and the security department staff. There are still remnants of the Antimatter Legion in the space station. Let's go help them.
Time for a buzz. Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow. Enemy targets detected. Ready for another?
Stand down and I'll spare you.
The die is cast. In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Commencing support.
Ozzy.
Oh!
A blade of moonlight.
Overkill.
Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up.
What are you doing here? Then be careful. There's still Legion remnants in the area. Arlan isn't here right now, so we need to step up the space station security. Spare no effort, and stay focused.
Yes, Brother Don Hung.
Yes, he's with March. But I suggest you don't bother him. He's given himself a personal trial.
Weird.
Brother Arlen's special trial? He's a man among men, a lion among tigers. He's already reached great heights.
Is it really
but,
wings? Oh, not the
still, he
jetpack.
wants to improve.
That trial.
Dorms.
I bet it's even more intense than physical training. And Brother Arlen already challenges himself to the limit in that department. He runs 21,358 meters around the space station every day. An eagle among wolves. Always so hard on himself.
I think it must have something to do with the mind. He probably found a waterfall and asked Ms. March to lower the temperature to freezing point.
No way. Brother Arlen's trial wouldn't be as simple as just standing under a waterfall. I think he wants to learn fighting skills from Miss March.
They're not correct, but not wrong either. Arlan came to me to learn how to manage pressure from his boss. So I sent him to March. If he can manage her, then he has nothing to fear.
He's a bear among horses.
That
Okay.
might be a metaphor too far.
Brother Arlen runs like a horse and fights like a bear. I think that's a great metaphor.
Arlan and I decided to switch our assignments. He went with March to investigate a suspicious crystal, and I've taken up his patrol. That's all. He gave me a pass for access across the space station while on patrol.
I found a broken ceiling tile. This mark? It must be from where Brother Arlen smashed it down.
Move aside. What kind of clue is that? This floor tile I found is way better. Look at the footprint. It's the right size, not to mention the angle of motion. This is proof of Brother Arlen in combat.
He said he read an anonymous handwritten journal in the space station. It contained 36 different strategies to do with managing pressure from one's boss. It also contained some information on trials. Firstly, trial of the heart. One needs to acknowledge the pressure in one's heart, and only then can one face it. Secondly, trial of the mirror. Like a mirror's reflection, one needs to personally experience the pressure others feel in a job in order to understand it. Lastly, trial of the self. One places oneself within that pressure to complete a transformation. I believe he came to me to complete the trial of the mirror. No? He didn't say, and I didn't ask.
Brother Arlen doesn't need a reason to improve himself. You don't understand him at all.
Brother Arlen is a fierce fighter with an eye for detail. If you don't understand his reason for doing things, maybe that's because you're too zoomed in.
He's just staying ahead of the game is all. He's the space station's cold-hearted hawk. The security department's alpha wolf.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you want to find Arlan, just contact March.
Job pressure? How to Arlen? I'm sorry. I need to feel the pressure he's feeling so I can understand what it's all about. Oh, there's a photo of Peppy on the pass. I got Arlen to look after Peppy because I thought they got along, but is that giving him too much extra pressure? Oh, maybe he printed out Peppy's picture as a way of forcing himself to remember his responsibility.
That's one way to look at it, but I don't think that's it.
Look how smashed up the ceiling tile is. Arlen must have bottled up his frustration and had no way of releasing it, so he took it out on the monsters. It's Arlen's shoe size, all right. And this actually came from a pair of shoes I bought for him. Maybe even these shoes are painful shackles for him.
Jesus Christ. She has some self-esteem issues.
Yeah. We need to find Arlen quickly. I need to apologize to him in person. Peppy? Let's get going.
So Peppy can locate March just by looking at a photo of her.
Interesting.
Is he really using scent to track?
He's a robo-pup. Ugh, robot doggy.
Quiet.
Hello.
What a cute doggy! Oh, you're here too. Hey, he's a new face and you're not. Huh, this little guy looks familiar. Are you Arlen's Peppy? Aw, I'm sorry. Your mask... He kept harping on about Don Hung being a true warrior or something.
Oh, God.
Oh, he did say that completing an assignment with me would help him complete the final trial. It felt like he learned a lot from me. Then again, everyone has a lot to learn from me. We were investigating suspicious crystals together, but he said it was all pointless if he couldn't transform himself. I could tell he was giving himself a lot of pressure, so I gave him a suggestion. I told him actions speak louder than words when you want to prove yourself. I was just thinking out loud, really. I had no idea what kind of trial he was doing. But when he heard that, he said Mr. Don Hung was right. And then he just left. I took a photo of him. He was doing one of those tough guy walks. Come to think of it, maybe I shouldn't have left him alone. Take me with you if you're going after him.
It sounds like he's gonna do something dangerous. is it? Oh, it's over there. Oh, shit. Where am I going? Oh, do I actually have to beat this guy? Okay, whatever.
100% break! Might be trickier to crack.
Enemy data secured.
So I'm fairly
Net
certain
markers
this is
active. Time for good old counterattack.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
Time for a buzz.
Commencing support. Ready for another?
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
There we go.
A blade of moonlight.
The die is cast.
Time for a buzz.
Didn't do that one.
I'll contain them.
This ends here.
Can you let me have some fun this time?
Amazing.
Enemy targets detected. Oh,
Is that all?
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
You will know justice.
There we go.
More enemies.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Commencing support. Inputting commands.
Tedious.
Hooray!
I read that a Stellaron's internal fluctuations will cause a fragmentum to appear. Did Arlen?
Hey, relax. I've seen plenty of Stellarons. It'll be fine.
I hope Arlen is safe. Lady Asta, you... Why are you all here? I've never seen anything like this before. It looks like some kind of new entity. It must have mutated after being corroded.
all will be revealed. In lunar flame!
Might be trickier to crack. Enemy targets detected. This
Stand down and I'll spare you. A blade of moonlight.
You took the bait
Hooray.
just like that. Oh! Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack! Commencing support. Inputting commands.
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
The die is cast.
Enemy targets detected.
Tedious.
Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up.
Are you okay, my lady? Lady Asta? Why are you crying? I'm sorry. Huh? It's all my fault. I've been putting too much on your plate, and that's why you looked up ways to manage the pressure. I honestly didn't realize that these things would bring you so much stress. I just want to say I'm sorry. My lady, you didn't give me any pressure. Arlen, you don't need to hide this from me any longer. She and I know all about the trials you're putting yourself through. If you can't forgive me right now, then I'll reflect further and find a way to prove that I'm willing to change. But, my lady... Firstly, your trial of the heart. You went to Professor Capote and asked him to simulate conversations with you so you could better understand your boss. And the evidence is... Firstly, your trial of the heart. You went to Professor Capote and asked him to simulate conversations with you so you could better understand your boss. And the evidence is...
Oh. There it is.
Master Capote's Life Wiki version 12.0. This transcript records what you asked Capote to help you with. Here, we can see a bossy manager and you being asked to do things outside of your job description. Clearly, Professor Capote is unlikely to master my speech or mannerisms anytime soon. Oh, but the content is the key here. I am the source of your pressure!
My lady, I did speak to Professor Capote, and I did ask him some things. But they had nothing to do with you. I've never experienced any pressure with you.
Oh, Arlen, won't you accept my apology? I'll just have to show you more evidence. We know the essence of your trial of the heart, and we also know that you asked Dunhung to help you complete the trial of the mirror. I'm so sorry, Arlen. Until I spoke with Dunhung, I never realized how much pressure was on your shoulders.
Miss, I really don't.
Hold it. I have evidence.
Oh, excuse me.
This isn't just any old station pass, is it, huh? There's a very important photo on it. A photo of Peppy!
Lady Asta, I like Peppy a lot, so
No, Arlen. You don't need to find excuses for your actions. Maybe you've actually convinced yourself. The combination of your simulated conversations with Capote and the entry in your work log about playing Holodisc with Peppy, it points to one thing. Me getting you to look after Peppy is the greatest source of your stress. You even printed out a photo of Peppy to constantly remind yourself to look after him. I know exactly what message you're trying to drill into yourself by sticking this photo onto your pass. Arlen, taking Peppy out to play is an assignment from lead researcher Asta. You better throw that holodisc like it's a
Jesus
full-on
Christ.
discus. If you spare any
Lady,
effort,
you have no
Lady
confidence.
Asta will find out and punish you terribly for all eternity.
my lady, don't you think that's a long thought to think? Lady Asta, please! I didn't do any of these trials because of you. I always try to complete every assignment you give me, regardless of whether it's within my job description. I really like taking Peppy out to play.
Asta, I don't think Arlan is upset with you.
But Arlen doesn't have any other bosses. Who else would it be? March, he asked to accompany you so he could learn how to manage his stress, right?
What? Arlan wanted to go on assignments just to experience stress? Phew. Good thing I let him go alone. My calming influence would have ruined his training. Guess I made the right decision after all. What did he say? That I'm good at solving people's problems?
Oh, Arlen, all I want you to understand is how sincerely I'm reflecting on my actions. Please, accept my apology.
But, my lady...
Stop! Arlen, I understood the level of stress you're dealing with as soon as I saw this photo.
Didn't I take that photo?
I'm always giving you tasks and assignments, but I never actually see how you take to the battlefield. When I saw this photo, and I saw you fighting alone just now, I'm just sorry that I gave you the stress of all my private affairs on top of an already stressful job. Please, forgive me, Arlen.
My lady, I'm very touched, but I started this trial because of Madame Herta.
What?
Whenever she's back on the space station, Madame Herta assigns me things outside the security department remit. Even if I dared to refuse, I wouldn't know how. She's just too overbearing. Whether it's helping her test some new specimen, or looking for ancient documents I've never even heard of. Assignments like those were okay before the invasion. But now, I need to focus on clearing out any last traces of the Legion.
Aha! So you're trying to learn how to reject Herta and then put it into practice.
Yes. I found an anonymous handwritten journal while I was cleaning up. It mentioned 36 different strategies for relieving pressure. That's where I read about the trials. Yes. There were detailed notes, so I wanted to give them a try. I'm sorry, my lady. I didn't want to bother anyone, so I didn't mention it.
So, you don't feel pressured around me?
No, duh.
I've never felt pressured around you, my lady.
All right. It's all a misunderstanding. You two should reflect on your actions. Right? That's right. Hey, this is supposed to be a happy moment. You keep saying that. What did Don Hung even say?
Thank you for helping Lady Asta. And for coming to find me.
You're welcome. Although if you really want to thank me, let me play Holodisc with Peppy, please.
Oh, nice. Okay, but what is this peppy thing that I got? It's a ball. Oh, here. Oh no, that's not it. I don't know where it is. It vanished. Okay.
100% break!
Tutorials. Weird. Okay. Let's just go down the list, I guess. Okay, I gotta go potty real quick. Hang on just 1 minute. Where's, do I not? Oh, weird, okay.
Noise.
Okay, why is it so tiny? Oops. Okay, I'll be right back.
Noise. Noise.
There we go. Okay. Hi, baby. Hi, baby.
Huh? You're back? It's natural for the conductor to feel relieved when their passengers return safely. La.
Interesting.
La.
Oh, there's a lot to talk to him about. I use instant coffee powder.
Huh? La.
Noise.
La 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 la. Huh?
Oh. I wish it would follow me around, but whatever. It's a baby. Hi, baby. You're a baby, too.
What is it? Do you need something? There's no signature. And it doesn't mention a time or place. Looks like whoever sent this expects me to remember. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them. Thanks, but I don't even know where to start. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Danfeng's past should be handled with care. Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a wise choice. I can't put her in danger again because of this. But if he didn't send the letter, then who did? Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of Divine Foresight. I need to ask Jing Yuan about the Stellaron hunters.
Okay. Oh, here.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Don Hung.
Greetings. I need to speak to the General about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100-year salary if they like.
The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I'm here to ask the General about the Stellaron Hunters.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Don Hung. Do you recognize the person on the steps?
No. If the General isn't available, I'll come back another day.
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou La Fu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jing Liu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Don Hung. When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the Shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world, but then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
Do we know each other?
The answer to that is both yes and no. However, your cold and indifferent tone is identical to the person I knew back then. If my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibiter Lunay's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the Moltene Rebirth, and turned you into what you are now.
Stop yelling, please. Good boy.
Imbibiter Lunay's actions affected many. Are you here to set things straight?
I, too, am a criminal. What right have I to deliver punishment? I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends, and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jing Yuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
For security purposes? I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue-twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the Ten Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Law Fu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Ju-Ming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the General. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist.
Sure you would.
Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer. Regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life, accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, Each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
She's more indecisive than I am.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Bai Hung, the Foxian pilot?
Bai Hung. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
The star skip won't hold much longer. Hi, Elder. Catch us before it falls apart.
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
You took the bait just like that?
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack! This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow. Commencing support. Oh!
A blade of moonlight.
What's going on? Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm hearing weird noises.
Well, you just fell into the door twice.
I took effort to close as well.
Oh.
The die is cast.
Can you let me have some fun this time? We have the upper hand. Inputting commands. Nice. Let's do it again when you're leveled up.
There it is.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after. Ah, I remember now. I've seen Bai Hung's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Starskiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Ah, her luck really was out of this world.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines. Very few starskiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Starskiff Killer. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Starskiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you.
See? The Starskiff is complete!
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Bai Hung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. in Bybiter Lunae. Do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Did Dan Feng fight alongside you?
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Dan Feng's imminent arrival. General Tang Xiao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troops. But Bai Heng didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal and no different from the soldier next to her. You ran a fair share of errands for her when she was still around. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Heng, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able to repay. For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in Bybiter Lunae. You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you decided to... You made a mistake that can never be undone. There is no need to respond in Bai.
Oops.
Bai Heng, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky. Let's go. The Artisanship Commission is next.
Wait, what? Oh, not like I don't do actual professions. My character technically is, but I don't actually have any of the skills.
Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even the Artisanship Commission's prized creation furnace is hanging on by a thread.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Cienjo's incompetence.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of Outworlders that came to the rescue.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of have improved.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the Creation Furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance.
This is the great.
But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I can finally play.
Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's like
you never forgot.
Time to make a decision. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. We have the upper hand.
I'm feeling poopy, and it's probably because I'm hungry.
Oh! You took the bait just like that?
We have a situation at hand.
The die is cast.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
In the name of Landau,
please.
years of cold hardens the wind. We shall never fall!
Enemy targets detected. Inputting commands. Can you let me have some fun this time?
Is that all? I hope you're prepared.
Nope, I don't need that.
We have the upper hand. This, that,
You will know justice.
You took the bait just like that.
Come on already. What took you so long this time?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lunae. We have all the time in the world.
What the heck is that? Oh, it's a fish.
It can't be. A pointless struggle.
Oh, shit.
Leaving so soon.
Oh, whoops.
100% break!
This spear still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lunae, do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
That needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
In the name of Landau. Years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
Immortality means forever.
Do we still have the upper hand? Inputting commands.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
This one? I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Commencing support. Oh! Enemy data secure.
There you go.
Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. Enemy targets detected. This, that, and... You took the bait just like that.
Tedious.
Is that all?
How insignificant!
Commencing support.
Oh!
I hope you're prepared.
Nope, not that.
Can you let me have
Wrong
some
button.
fun this time?
Stop. Okay.
Stand
name
down
of
and I'll
Landau.
spare you.
Years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
Inputting commands.
Secret of the Saints.
Huh. More enemies.
Oh my god.
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
We have the upper hand.
Okay, baby, you wanna go to bed?
This, that, and...
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunay's. Combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Do you remember? Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
I'd rather leave this world in a blaze than live until the end of time. I will let all of the Xianzhou know that a brief moment of my life is worth more than their long and meaningless lives.
Yingxing.
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to travel across the stars to the Xianzhou to receive training. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old. The little brat was no less arrogant than the High Elder. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature, but when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the master craftsmen. He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title of Furnace Master. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only able to prove his worth alongside us outcasts in the end.
Oh, damn. Okay, this thing is lasting for a while.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up with you.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He transformed into a long-life species?
Correct. Such are the twists of destiny. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exception. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid in Bibiter Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated most. The irony.
Ugh, for an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
Come on.
did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave himself a name. We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda. And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingyuan. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For a checkup and consultation. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge Waterscape. The mission the General tasked you with is about to come to an end.
Dunhung? What a surprise! Are you not feeling well? Please, come this way.
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors. Do you have a way to soothe my mind, Dragon Lady?
Those symptoms don't sound like my area of expertise. Who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients.
Hello,
Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse.
This mission was
You'll
quite
need to
a
take some
lore-loving one.
translucent
Yeah, that's for
worms
sure.
so I can take a closer look.
I was gonna finish up this mission and then go make some dinner, but
Your hand!
it's taking
freezing!
forever.
Please wait. Dunhung, can I speak to you for a minute? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition. Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she
won't live much longer.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like there's a dark current running and pulsing between her core esse and her veins. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records. Can you and your friend come back for follow-up visits?
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out how to cure her. I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this point on. Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. It won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! Where did my big medicine box go? I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here. Dunhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine? I could use your skills.
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
No. No trouble at all.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
Ah. all the herbs. Hey! Give me back my medicine box!
Oh, jeez.
That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There's an even bigger monster protecting this one! When did so many creatures start visiting the Alchemy Commission?
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand back. The chill of my sword freezes everything in its path.
Damn, okay.
Might be trickier to crack.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Commencing support. Inputting commands.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
You can't monitor anybody's head.
Can't kill me.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. This, that, and...
Hooray.
A blade of moonlight.
This ends here.
Can you let me have some fun this time?
Enemy targets detected. Oh!
Is that all? You will know justice.
Huh. More enemies.
Okay, I'm moving this conversation somewhere else. Hang on.
I've got a raid to get to. Let's finish this.
that all?
Commencing support.
You wanna go to bed? There you go.
Time to make a decision.
No, single turret.
Ready for another?
Tedious. Fleeting light, roaring flood. All will be revealed. In lunar flame. A blade of moonlight. Nowhere to run!
Can you let me have some fun this time?
Okay. Oh, I should probably be paying attention and doing this.
In the name of
I got
Landau,
distracted by another planning.
years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack. This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow. We have the upper hand. Inputting commands.
Is that all?
Enemy targets detected. Is that... Enemy data secured. Net markers activated. Time for good old counterattack.
I hope you're prepared. The die is cast.
Huh. More enemies.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
Commencing support. Oh! Can you let me have some fun this time?
Tedious.
Enemy targets detected. Time to make a decision. This happened. Huh. More enemies. Time for a buzz.
Oh shit.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame! A blade of moonlight.
In the name of Landau, years of cold hardens the will. We shall never fall!
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
Ready for death!
All right, let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long. Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Law Fu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations. You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit. And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes, and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void. Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided more healing than any kind of medicine or remedy. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment. And the number of injuries we see has skyrocketed since the Ambrosia Arbor crisis.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword with him at all times. Have you seen someone like that, Dragon Lady?
Oh, yes! Someone came by today that matches that description. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine I prescribed.
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine. Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Let's go meet our old friend. Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friendship is no more. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen. Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Sing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say goodbye. A wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. What a depressing reunion. Jing Yuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuche. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the two of you beforehand.
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path. No matter, I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Cienjo lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why? Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer. Which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? Why? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away. Like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Imbibitor Lunae, what do you plan on doing next?
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own, just as we did back then. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear.
Put him to bed in a minute.
The memories of what I did when I was Mara struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head on in the end. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye, Imbibitor Lune.
Dan Heng, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did? Goodbye for now, Dan Heng. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
Hi, baby, I hear you.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth. Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dan Heng.
Oh no, not her coffee. Alright, there we go. Now we're done. Alright, and thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I have a lot of stuff to work on, and I have to make dinner. As for next stream, not entirely sure, but I should be streaming tomorrow, I'm hoping. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you then.